In Man Up, episode 25, I talk about how to navigate open relationships.
Masculinity for the intelligent man. I'm David Tian, Ph.D., and this is Man Up!
Hey man, welcome to Man Up, episode 25. Got a doozy coming for you. This is from Eric Chen. Oh, but before we get into that, I gotta apologize. I meant to post and record and post earlier videos last week, but I did a lot of traveling. I know it's not an excuse. I committed to doing it. Again, one of the things that got in the way was my perfectionism. It's something that actually prevented me over 10 years ago in the past to become socially confident, because every time I thought, I'm not going to talk to them unless it's perfect, or I'm not going to talk to her until I know exactly what to do in every step. And that actually gets in the way of progress. The best thing to do is just do it now. Just take action. When you're motivated to do something, just take action that immediately makes you follow through. And I should have done that. Apologies. We're committed to doing it. I'm going to hammer these out every time. All right. So just to let you know, I apologize for last week not having these up. Okay. So now to the question from Eric. This is from the private Man Up Facebook group. He's asking a long question. I'm going to have to paraphrase this, and it's about how to do polyamorous relationships in a setting where, even though he's in a Western city, a cosmopolitan city, the people that he's interacting with aren't exactly open to the idea. So it looks like he's dating some girls who are fine with him being open in an open relationship. So he's allowed to date other people, other girls, and they're allowed to date other guys. But what he insists on is that the girls, tell their friends that those girls are dating him, okay? So he insists on that. And the second thing is he insists on the girls telling any guys they're dating that she's dating him, Eric. I don't know if that's confusing or not, but basically he wants everyone to know everything. So he's like, they're not happy with that. Basically the girls are, when they start talking to their friends about the fact that they're dating him, Eric, the girls find that they're feeling shame, and so they don't want to do it. They don't want to admit to their friends that they're also seeing this guy in an open relationship. This kind of surprised me. If a girl agrees to an open relationship, she's usually of a more forward-thinking, liberal type of person. And one of those things that I want to put out there is it's really important to think about the type of girl that you're in a relationship with or interacting with, because girls aren't all the same. I know that guys like to think they are, but they're not. There are many different kinds of girls, just like there are many different types of guys. And one of the things that was a little bit surprising was that he's in a city I'm very familiar with, and if a girl's going to agree to be in an open relationship there, generally she won't give a shit about what her friends think. Now here's the deal. Turns out after a little bit more probing, he's dating these girls are mostly immigrant girls, or girls who are international students. So they're coming from Asia. So these are girls who weren't raised in Canada. They're international students coming from Asian countries and in the university there in Canada, but they're not Canadian. So this kind of makes sense, because where Asian societies are is quite extreme, right? So the older generation, the generation of people in their 50s and 60s, are very traditional, very conservative, because during the time they grew up, Asia was very conservative. And then the teenagers and 20-somethings are very liberal, okay? Because right now it's really, really liberal, okay? And in between there wasn't a smooth continuum, a gradation of going from liberal to conservative, or conservative to liberal. It was just, there's this huge gap between what the kids are like and what their parents were like. And one of the problems, the fallouts of that, is that a girl who's a young girl from Asia, so overseas, is going to feel more liberated because now she's in a Western setting that's going to accept all these alternative lifestyles. But she wasn't raised in a setting that accepts those. And her friends aren't either. They're not actually fully conditioned to be liberal. Okay? Now, here's the misnomer a lot of Asians think, is that if you are a liberal, like if you're practicing open relationships, or if you're sexually open or sexually open-minded, that you're just a slut. Okay, so there are at least two categories of people who are sexually open-minded, and one category is just sort of slutty. I mean, just slut. I don't mean that in like a bad pejorative way. I just mean they have low standards for the people that they'll have sex with. Okay, so there's that group. But then there's also a group that's incredibly intelligent. Because they're very intelligent, they see all the arguments and reasons for leading a lifestyle of their own choosing. And they happen to choose a lifestyle that actually takes a lot of courage to do. It takes a lot of bravery, and it takes a lot of resistance to social pressure. And that is an example of a lifestyle like that is an open relationship lifestyle or polyamorous lifestyle. So look, Eric, what you're expecting from them is not going to be easy for them if they're Asians, even though they're living in an international school, or sorry, international community in Canada. Okay, so if you date girls who were raised in Canada with open-minded Canadian parents who maybe went through a hippie stage and did weed and shit, maybe those girls will go for it, and they won't get so much social pressure from their friends to be old-fashioned. Okay. So the type of girl you're dating is going to have a big effect or impact on how well this open relationship thing goes. Second thing is, you shouldn't be insisting on everybody telling everything to everyone. All right. So in an open relationship, the fine line between let's get serious or not is blurred. Right. So if you're in a 3-month relationship with a guy, and as a girl, okay, and is it now serious? Who knows? We're not quite sure yet. She shouldn't feel like at that point she has to list out, like when she first goes on a date with a guy or her third date with a guy, that she has to now list for him all the other guys she's seeing. Now, obviously, if they go into an exclusive relationship, so if she decides to go with this other guy and he thinks they're exclusive, right, and she has good reason to think he's exclusive, that they're exclusive, then her obligation would be to say, there's this other guy I'm dating, right? So he doesn't get this wrong idea. But it's not clear in the Western context when that happens. And this insistence on her telling all of her friends that she's dating him is overly strict. And there's a little bit of an ego thing here, all right? So look, dude, no pressure. That's the whole point of open relationships in the first place. You're now applying pressure on her and on all of these people to blurt out to all these people who they're dating. It's not their business. That's just like, you should blurt out like your social insurance number. It's not their business. Now, if they're close friends, maybe you could tell them. But you shouldn't hide it in the sense of if somebody confronts you, are you dating Eric? Yeah, she should say, yeah, I am, right? Not a big deal. But if she shouldn't be like, hey, I'm dating Eric. Hey, I'm dating Eric. Hey, by the way, I'm dating Eric. That's not necessary, right? So where is that fine line between serious and not serious? It's not clear, but if she goes into serious land, if the other guy thinks they're monogamous, they're exclusive, then yes, I agree. She has an obligation to tell him that she is in fact dating another guy. And that's the point at which that becomes relevant. Before that point, it's not really relevant. Okay? So you shouldn't have to feel like they have to go around telling your name to all these people. Okay? So it's a complicated thing. I should have put this as a caveat at the beginning. Open relationships are not for everybody. In fact, they're not for most people. And it takes a lot of maturity and emotional control to do them correctly. And you can't expect that level of maturity from every person you date. So expect to have in your partner some bumpy road ahead when you do this. Okay, so this is Man Up. Make sure to ask me your questions, you got to join the Man Up private Facebook group. Okay, we approve join requests regularly, so get on there, and it's the best way to get a hold of me. All right, so in the meantime, Man Up.